Hey friends, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Nina. I help people to declutter their minds and their homes using practical applications of psychology. And if you have finally found the inspiration and motivation to clean up and get organized, you are in the right place. Today we're going to be talking all about what areas and rooms to focus on first and what makes them so impactful. Now, as a former cluttered and messy person myself, I have found that once we do come to the decision that we really want to start on this process, we often have no idea where to start and can waste a lot of time and energy in areas that don't really make a big difference for us and therefore don't really inspire us to continue with the process. And because of this, we usually end up giving up really early on and we never get to see the final result. So today I want to make sure that this does not happen to you, and we are going to make a clear plan about where to begin. Now, there are 3 specific areas that I feel as a general rule should be our top priority. However, ultimately, we do want to address the areas in our home that make us feel the most overwhelmed and anxious first, because they will give us the most relief and satisfaction once they are transformed. So if you find that you do tend to avoid certain areas in your home because of the negative emotions that they make you feel, or that certain spaces make you feel more stressed or anxious than others, then these are pretty good indications that we need to actually start addressing these areas before the 3 areas that we'll be talking about today. It's not always one size fits all, but I have found that these areas do tend to make the biggest impact. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 1 is the entryway. Now, if we are prone to experiencing stress and anxiety, one of the worst things we can do for ourselves is to have a cluttered, messy entryway, because the second we open our front door, we are going to be filled with negative emotions. It is an immediate reminder that our home is not a beautiful sanctuary, but rather a chaotic and overwhelming place that is impossible to relax in. So if nothing else, clear this area out. Also, this will make us a lot less embarrassed when people come to the door, because it does give the illusion that we have a clean house. And even if the rest of our home is not yet cleaned or organized, other people really can't see these areas, so we can gradually begin to work on those areas. Number 2 is your bedroom. Now, I know a lot of professional organizers will not agree that this is a priority, but let me explain to you why I firmly believe that it is. It is the most personal room in the home, even if you share it with someone else. It needs to feel safe, cozy, and inviting, and it also needs to feel relaxing. When our bedroom is messy, it makes it extremely difficult for us to unwind and de-stress at the end of the day, and also studies show us that clutter greatly interferes with our ability to get to sleep and also to stay asleep. And we all know that lack of sleep also contributes greatly to anxiety, so it can become this incredibly vicious cycle. Having a messy bedroom can also interfere with a lot of practical things like trying to find our clothes for the day. And when these very simple tasks become challenging because of our space, we can feel like our whole day is very difficult, even though we've only been awake for 10 minutes. But when we wake up in a clean, beautiful room, we are setting ourselves up to feel a lot more happy and positive, because we are starting our day in a room that makes us feel that way. And number 3 is the kitchen. Now, this room is so important because it can directly lead to creating healthier habits, such as making better food choices and living in a safer and more sanitary environment. And I also feel like even when the rest of our home is clean, if the kitchen is messy, it feels like our home is unappealing and overwhelming. I don't think anyone likes starting off the day struggling to find a clean dish or a clean surface to eat on. If this is how we're welcomed into the day, it can lead to a lot of negative emotions that can get us started on the wrong foot. But think of how differently you would feel if instead you were greeted by a clean sink and a clean table. These types of things really do make a big impact and make us feel like we have our life under control. So those are the 3 areas that I would definitely start in first, but there's also very simple things that we can do right away, like picking up things from the floor or the countertops and closing our drawers and our cabinets, because these little things actually do help to create this sense of order. Also, I want to mention that last week I made a video about specific items to declutter before you even start this process, so definitely check that out. I will go ahead and link it down in the description box below, along with an entire playlist of support for your decluttering journey. As always, I truly hope that you found this video to be helpful and insightful. If you did, please like it, share it, and definitely become a subscriber if you aren't one already. I'd absolutely love it if you stayed connected. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I hope the rest of your day is extraordinary.